Hi, I'm Jeremy Hobbs, and I am with the Better Way Foundation here in Columbus, Georgia. It's betterwayfoundation.com. This is our HIV journal for better living, dated Tuesday, whatever today's date is, October 27th. So getting closer and closer to Halloween. I love Halloween. I hope everybody else out there does too. There's a few out there. I remember when I was a kid, we'd walk up to their houses. Their lights would be off, and they'd come in there. We don't participate. Boy, did we love egging those houses. But anyway, if you don't want to get egged, have some candy ready. Because children love candy. And I don't mean lace them with nothing either now. Okay. But today, what do I want to talk about? I talked about some personal issues the other day, but today I want to talk about stepping back. I see a lot of folks that, want to make a commitment, want to make a change. And as I said, they fall back into that comfort zone where they're obviously comfortable. Because that means that they don't have to deal with anything really at that time, or they're unable to. Some people are unable to, and there's a lot of people out there that make have a 20 million excuses. But like when we went to a Thrive conference in Atlanta, it's like the doctor said up there, she still has not heard one legitimate excuse why people cannot get up and do something, such as exercise, or just anything, I just want to make sure people live better. We gotta do everything that's possible. And don't think that I'm sitting here just, quote, giving you my life. This comes right straight from the book, Living Well with HIV and AIDS. This book is available. It's from Gifford Laura Gonzalez, and this is the revised and updated 3rd edition. So, and I got this book a year ago, so I'm pretty sure there's a 4th edition to it now. But it's an excellent book. So many resources, so many, facts and things that you need to do to live well with this disease every day. And another thing that we received, and I applaud Butch Thompson from AIDS Alliance for Faith and Health in Atlanta, Georgia, created this wonderful book, Thrive Workbook. You have to attend the class to get the book, of course. And it started out kind of slow. It was a little bit repetitive, because we'd all heard it. But then we got to thinking about there's a lot of people that have just been diagnosed that have never heard of, never heard some of these terms or didn't know exactly what this did. There's people out there every day that still have questions. Or, somebody hugs somebody, like somebody was telling me about last night, and he's like, he was just joking with him. He said, "Oh, now you got it." He was freaking out. And, that's the mentality we deal with on a level out there. Because unless it affects you or infects you, most people just don't give a damn about it. And, it's like, oh, I don't have to worry about that. That can't happen to me. But the fact remains that it can happen to anybody, any race, any color, any age, young or old. But we've got to stop stepping back. I've got to stop stepping back on some things in my life. I'm continuously moving forward with various aspects of my life. But there are certain things that I remain neutral on or don't make the changes that are necessary. A friend of mine sent me a letter yesterday, and I really appreciated it, talking about, he has been with his lover for a long time. And they had had a lot of problems together, sexually or what have you. And don't think that all my problems are just sexually. There's a lot more to it than that. I'm not that shallow. It's other things in life. But the main question you got to ask yourself is what's going to make you happy in the long run? Will this decision make you happy? And most times it will, but there's a lot of fear going into the situation. And that happens. That's just part of life. But the real courage comes from making the step forward, but not making a step back. I'm not saying you're not courageous if you step back, because that just means you're precautious. And there's nothing wrong with being precautious. And there is a thing with being too overly precautious, because everything that comes up in your life, you'll be excited about it one moment, and then when it comes down to it, you back away from it. Because I guess, you sit there at night. I had a lot of problems with, at nighttime whenever I would lay there in bed before I found the beautiful Klonopin. because now, I mean, I go to sleep. I used to sit there and lay there and toss and turn for an hour and a half. And while I was tossing and turning for the hour and a half, I used to, my mind would just go. It's like, Dane Cook's thing when he talks about, when you got ADD, it's like, it's really like a circus in there. And I mean, flashes of every little thing coming at you left and right, and that happens. But what can we do to make our lives better? One step at a time. Take it easy. Don't rush things. But at the same time, though, don't be too precautious. I mean, you've got to take chances in life, and that's the only way you'll succeed. Some chances, you've got to look at what those are too, though. I mean, you've got to be able to see what's going to affect you for the better and what's going to affect you for the worse. I see a lot of people that want relationships and things of that nature. And then I see who they go after. It's like people that are in their 50s. And I'm not saying a person in their 50s can't date somebody in their 20s. But at the same time, though, I'm a realist, okay? I know what the world is. And I'm sorry, some old hot 22-year-old that's going to go out with somebody that's 55 years old, HIV, well, full-blown AIDS or whatever, it's going to have, it's not, I don't think it's for love. And I see a lot of people that get used that way. I mean, badly. Emotionally, financially, I mean, it just drains them. And then it makes them even more bitter at the end. So be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it, but you've got to be careful what you do wish for in life. I mean, because, not everything is a bed of roses. My life ain't. It's good, but it could be better. Yes, it could. But that's where I have to take those steps. And I hope we can take those steps together, one day at a time, without too much precaution. But at the same time, though, making good, solid, sound decisions that affect not somebody else, but affect you. That's the main factor here. You've got to look at what affects you and what makes you happy. I mean, because, all our lives we give of ourselves, and we give and give and give, and, and I don't ask for anything in return, except for with a relationship. And I mean, because that's supposed to be a working relationship, 50-50 between two people. Now, not all, I'm a realist too. Like I said, no relationship is 50-50. Sometimes it's 70-30. Sometimes it's, the opposite. Sometimes it's 45-55. You've always got to help that person and pick up the slack where they're leveling off. But if that person doesn't do it back for you, ever, or attempts to but doesn't follow through with it, I mean, that's not helpful for you. I mean, you need somebody that's going to support you. They might not be interested in everything that you do, but at the same time, though, they're there for you when you need them. They support you. They listen to you. They don't find your life dull and boring. And we run into that a lot. As people that just really don't give a shit about what we feel or what we think or what we go through in life. And a lot of people are self-centered. That's just the way life goes. I mean, there's, different folks, different strokes, and a whole big pot of mess, big mess. But, we've got to find that right person in life. And I think each of us can do it. I mean, but let me tell you one thing that I've learned in life, that I've seen, and this is as results-based, maybe not in my own, but it seems like when you're not looking, love finds you. But when you're looking all the time, you're more willing to accept something that doesn't quite meet all your wants, or doesn't quite meet everything you want in life. Never settle for second best. I've done that for long enough, and I plan on making changes in that for the next year. But don't make radical decisions either. Make good choices. Make sound decisions, and make choices that make you happy. But together, we can be the solution, and I will see you on our next journal for better HIV living. Have a great day.